Listen. I need you to really listen to what I am about to tell you, because this is not just another sad story. This is a story about a woman who did everything right and still ended up dead. This is a story about a system that watched a man hurt women over and over again and did absolutely nothing to stop him. And this is a story that is happening right now, today, somewhere in your country while you are watching this video. Late one July night in Belle Glade, Florida, a young mother called for help. She had already documented the fear. She had already reported the danger. She believed that a man she once trusted was coming for her. 10 minutes later, she was dead. The suspect surrendered. He had a long criminal history. He had violated protective orders. He had been arrested before and released. Today, we examine not only what happened to Shantae Butts, but how the system she trusted failed her. What happens when the warnings are loud, the evidence is clear, and yet the tragedy still unfolds. Her name was Shantae Butts. She was 30 years old. She was adopted as a child, which means she understood what it meant to be unwanted from day one. She understood abandonment. She understood what it felt like to not belong. But instead of letting that break her, instead of using that pain as an excuse to give up, she built something. She built multiple things. She had 3 separate businesses running at the same time. During the day, she worked as a home health aide. If you have never done that job, let me tell you what it is really like. You are literally wiping the butts of strangers. You are lifting grown adults who weigh more than you do. You are getting screamed at and cussed out by people's grandparents. And you are doing all of this for $15 an hour if you are lucky. That was her day job. After work, she ran a cleaning business called Polished by Shay. She would leave one exhausting job and go do another exhausting job. But she was not done yet. When she got home, she would make these luxury floral arrangements with alcohol bottles, Crown Royal roses, Hennessy bouquets. She was literally turning addiction aesthetics into profit. She was alchemy in action. She was turning pain into products. Shantae Butts was 34 years old at the time of her death. Some reports list 34. She was a mother of 4. She lived in Belle Glade, a small city in Palm Beach County, Florida, with a history of economic challenges and tight-knit community bonds. Friends and neighbors say she was hardworking and determined, doing her best to support her children and build a stable life. And because apparently sleep is for people without 6 kids to feed, she was also building her social media presence. She had 6 children. 6. She was a mother to 6 kids while working 3 jobs and building a brand. On her social media, she talked about what it really felt like to be a mother and a woman in this world. She made content about not getting paid enough to babysit, even when they were her own kids. About having to miss work to take care of children. About missing events because motherhood does not have days off. She took all the exhaustion that every parent feels but will not admit out loud, and she turned it into content. She monetized motherhood. She made people laugh about things that normally make you cry because you are so tired you cannot do anything else. But behind the public smile was a private fear. Fear of a man she had once loved. Fear of returning to the home she shared with her children. Fear of what might come next. Over recent months, she had begun documenting what she believed was stalking, harassment, and escalating threats. She used her phone. She recorded doorbell footage. She made multiple calls to law enforcement. She even fled her home in search of safety. Those actions, though brave, would not prevent the outcome. But here is where the story gets dark. The man who kept showing up in her content, the man she kept making jokes about, was named Little Mac Williams. Actually, his real government name was just Mac Williams, but everyone called him Little Mac, like the Nintendo character. Except instead of winning championship belts, this man collected restraining orders like Pokemon cards. He had multiple restraining orders, and he violated every single one like the rules did not apply to him. Little Mac was the father of some of her children. He was her ex. He had a rap sheet so long it looked like a CVS receipt. And Shantae was putting all of his business out there on social media for entertainment and for money. She called the series all Deadbeat Daddy, and it was basically a documentary of Little Mac's failures as a father and as a human being. Now, I am going to say something that might make you uncomfortable. Are you ready? She was playing with fire while covered in gasoline. Does that mean she deserved what happened? Absolutely not. But when you are dealing with a man who has proven repeatedly that he solves his problems with his fists, maybe TikTok is not the best place to talk about your therapy. Actually, you know what? Scratch that. She had every right to tell her truth. She had every right to talk about what she was going through. The real question is, why was he free to be walking around in the first place? Let me paint you a picture of Florida's justice system. Actually, calling it a justice system is like calling a broken condom birth control. It might look like it works, but when it matters most, it fails completely. This man, Little Mac Williams, discovered something important in Florida. He discovered that beating women comes with a frequent flyer discount. It comes with rewards. The more you do it, the less serious the consequences get. Little Mac Williams, 45 or 46, depending on the report. He was the ex-boyfriend of Butts, the father of some of her children. His criminal history revealed a pattern: domestic violence, stalking, strangulation, trespassing, assault. Records show. In 2014, Williams was charged with felony battery, strangulation, and false imprisonment after an ex-girlfriend reported he had choked her until she had a 5 centimeters hematoma. In 2018, he was convicted for stalking/trespassing and served 59 days in jail. Peck. In 2023, another woman said he struck her with an object. He pleaded guilty and served 2 days. In July 2024, he was arrested after allegedly forcing entry into Butts' home, choking her and kicking her repeatedly. He pleaded guilty and received 157 days behind bars and a no-contact order. That last conviction should have triggered a strong response, a red flag so bright no one could ignore it. Yet months later, the stalking began again. The doorbell camera recorded the intrusions. The nights grew longer, the fear grew louder. Let me run you guys through his previous crime cases. Back in 2014, when Mac Williams committed his first documented crime. And when I say documented, I mean he chokes her until she has a lump on her forehead the size of a golf ball. The medical report called it a 5 centimeter hematoma. That means he literally rearranged her skull geography. He almost cracked her skull. The punishment he received was 36 days in jail. 5 weeks. You know what else takes 5 weeks? Getting your tax refund from the government. Getting a passport renewed. This man nearly killed a woman and got less time than a Netflix free trial lasts. In 2018, there is a new woman, but it is the same Little Mac Williams. This time he graduated to stalking. He showed up at her house uninvited. He tampered with security cameras like he was auditioning for a Lifetime movie villain. The sentence was 59 days. Notice how the violence is escalating, but the punishment is not. It is like the judges were playing limbo with justice. How low can you go? In 2023, this man hits a woman in the head with an object during an argument. Just crack. Like she is a piñata and he is trying to win prizes. The sentence was 2 days. 2 days. I have had hangovers that lasted longer than his jail sentence. Amazon Prime takes longer to deliver packages than he spent in jail for hitting a woman with a weapon. You see the pattern? The judges were basically running a loyalty program. Beat 1 woman, get some jail time. Beat 3 women, get a volume discount on your sentence. Every time he hurt someone, the punishment got lighter. It is like they were training him. Good job, Little Mac. Next time, you might even get time served. And here is what nobody wants to say. If this man was black, wait, let me check. Oh, he is black. Well, then there goes that theory. Turns out the system just does not care about protecting women. Period. It does not matter what color you are. The system will fail you. Now we get to Shantaes. July 2024. Little Mac forces his way into her home. He puts her in a chokehold. He kicks her multiple times. She almost loses consciousness. When she tries to call 911, he steals her phone and runs. After this happens, Shantaes goes to work and records a video of herself begging him to leave. You can see the fear in her face. You can hear it in her voice. Please leave. I am not okay with this. Please leave my job. I have to go. This is after the choking incident. The man is literally hunting her at her place of work. The system gave her a piece of paper. A restraining order. You know what stops bullets better than restraining orders? Everything. A piece of cardboard stops bullets better than that piece of paper. A strong breeze stops bullets better. Thoughts and prayers stop bullets better. A restraining order is literally one of the most useless pieces of paper in existence when dealing with someone who wants to hurt you. He gets arrested for the July assault. He is charged with domestic battery by strangulation, witness tampering, multiple felonies. Serious stuff. After all of that, after his entire history of violence, you know what he got? 157 days. Barely 5 months for what amounts to attempted murder. Because when you choke someone until they almost lose consciousness, what exactly do you think the end goal is? You think he was trying to give her a firm handshake? He was trying to kill her. But the prosecutors and judges were merciful. so merciful that they set him free to try again. October 2024. Little Mac violates the restraining order. He is calling nonstop. He is banging on her door. Full stalker mode activated. He is arrested again. Released again. The system is a revolving door, and he knows how to work it. November 2024. He breaks into her house. He assaults her. He steals her phone. And here is the kicker. The prosecutors reduce the charges from felony to misdemeanor. This man is escalating faster than gas prices, and they are reducing the charges. Make it make sense. He pleads guilty because they caught him red-handed, and he gets 66 days. 2 months for breaking and entering, assault, and theft. I have seen people get more time for stealing a Snickers bar from Walmart. The harassment escalated. On July 2nd, 2025, it's reported that Williams had broken into her home and stolen a soda bottle. 2 days later, she said he returned, chased her to her car, yelled threats. She captured the activity on a doorbell camera. She told police, with tears running down her face, "He's going to kill me." Law enforcement responded. On July 5th, a warrant was issued for aggravated stalking against Williams. July 5th, 2025. 6 days before her murder, Shantaes is at the police station. Again, she is crying. Not those pretty television tears, but the ugly cry that comes from knowing what is about to happen. She tells the deputies that Little Mac showed up at her house 20 times in one night. 20. Her doorbell camera caught all of it. Him pacing. Him tampering with the camera. Him looking in windows. He is basically auditioning for the role of a man about to commit murder. She captured the activity on a doorbell camera. She told police, with tears running down her face, "He's going to kill me." She tells the deputies, and I need you to hear this clearly. She tells them, tears running down her face, "He is going to kill me." Not "I am scared." Not "I think he might hurt me." She said he is going to kill me. She knew. She predicted her own death. You know what they did? They issued another warrant for aggravated stalking. Like this man gives a damn about warrants. He collects them like baseball cards. That same night, Shantae does not go home. She flees to a hotel in Clewiston. Let that marinate for a second. This woman is paying for a hotel room she can barely afford because her own home is not safe, while the man making it unsafe is just out there free, probably sleeping in his own bed. July 11th, 2025. 11:47 p.m. 6 days after she predicted her own murder, Little Mac Williams makes her a prophet. Her oldest son is playing video games when he hears it, breaking glass or maybe the door. Reports vary. Trauma has a way of scrambling details. But what he hears next is crystal clear. "Where is your mama?" That is Little Mac's voice in their house where those babies live. The boy calls 911. And while he is on the phone with dispatch, while he is trying to explain that his mother's ex-boyfriend just broke in, the dispatcher hears something that no amount of training prepares you for. A man screams. Then pop. Not 1 shot. Not 2. 12. 12 shots. You do not shoot someone 12 times by accident. That is not self-defense. That is not heat of the moment. 12 shots is a message. 12 shots is making sure. 12 shots is hatred with a trigger. Her current boyfriend, who was in bed with her, takes 1 bullet to the chest. 1. He survives. But Shantae, those other 11 were for her. And those babies, his babies, they heard every single shot. They heard their mother's last breath. They are going to hear those shots for the rest of their lives. Deputies find Shantae on her bed. The same bed where she probably tucked those kids in. The same bed where she probably collapsed after working 3 jobs. 12 gunshot wounds. She is declared dead at 11:58 p.m. She did not even make it to midnight. She did not even make it to another day. You want to know the most pathetic part of this whole thing? After executing the mother of his children, Little Mac Williams walked outside and laid down in the street, hands behind his back, waiting for the cops like he just finished a shift at work. No chase. No standoff. No suicide by cop attempt. Just surrendered. This man had enough rage to pump 12 bullets into a woman, but not enough spine to face the consequences like the tough guy he pretended to be. When they questioned him, you know what this genius said? He did not know who the other man in the house was. The man in bed with his ex in her bedroom at midnight. Yeah, real mystery there. Then he claims he did not shoot anyone. The gun just went off during a struggle. 12 times. In the same direction. Into the same person. That is his defense. Now here is where it gets insulting. Remember all those arrests I mentioned? Every single judge who gave him those baby sentences has names. Public record. These are not anonymous figures hiding behind the system. These are real people with real power who made real decisions that led to a real death. Judge Gregory Kaiser was the latest one, but there were others before him. These judges had discretion. They chose lenience. They chose to reduce charges. They chose to believe that this time would be different, that he had learned his lesson, that giving him one more chance was the right call. You know what the state attorney's office said after Shantae died? They said they are focused on violent offenders and habitual offenders. After she is already dead, now they care about violent offenders. That is like putting on a seat belt after the car crash. Thanks for nothing. Here is the deep question nobody wants to answer. How many women have to die before a judge loses their job? Because if I mess up a TikTok video, you will roast me in the comments. These judges mess up and women get buried, but they still have their pensions. 6 kids. Let me say that again for those in the back. 6 kids watched their mother die. The oldest, the one who called 911, he is going to spend the rest of his life wondering if he could have done something different. If he had been faster, stronger, louder. He is going to replay those 12 shots every time he closes his eyes. The younger ones were found huddled together in the living room. Huddled like baby birds in a storm. They're going to grow up knowing their father killed their mother while they were in the next room. And here is the part that nobody talks about. Some of these kids are his. Little Mac's own babies. He made his own children orphans because his ego could not handle a TikTok series. Belglade held a memorial. People who never met Shantae showed up. You know why? Because every woman there saw themselves in her story. Every single one had either been Shantae or knew a Shantae. The local activists started organizing, demanding stronger enforcement, harsher sentences. But here is the truth. Candlelit vigils do not change laws. Hashtags do not stop bullets. And all the thoughts and prayers in the world will not bring back a mother of 6. You know what changes things? You. In the comments getting loud about this. Sharing this story. Making noise. Because somewhere right now, another woman is filing her 3rd restraining order against a man with a history. And the system is about to fail her too. Little Mac Williams is now facing 1st-degree murder charges. Life without parole. Maybe even the death penalty. Now they want to throw the book at him. Now that there is a body, now that there are orphans, now that it is too late, the prosecutors are acting tough. They are talking about maximum penalties and justice for Shantae. But where was that energy when he was only almost killing women? It is like they are trying to get extra credit for finally doing their job. Look, we got him. Yeah, congratulations. You caught a killer after he killed. Real detective work there. Shantae Butts did everything right according to what they tell victims to do. She documented everything. She reported it. She got restraining orders. She fled to safety. She spoke up. She built support systems. She worked multiple jobs to be independent. She even made content to warn other women. And she is still dead. So maybe, and follow me here, maybe the problem is not what victims do or do not do. Maybe the problem is that we keep releasing violent men with slaps on the wrist, and then act surprised when they escalate to murder. Maybe the problem is judges who give 2-day sentences for assault with a weapon. Maybe the problem is prosecutors who reduce charges from felony to misdemeanor when a man keeps hurting women. To every woman watching who sees herself in Shantae, your TikToks are not the problem. Your jokes are not the problem. Your truth is not the problem. The system that values your abuser's freedom over your life, that is the problem. Shantae Butts deserved better than what the justice system gave her. Her kids deserve better. Hell, even Little Mac deserved better. Maybe if they had actually punished him the first time, if they had taken his violence seriously, if they had seen the pattern and stopped it, he would not be facing life now. But hey, at least the judges got to go home to their families, right? Rest in power, Shantae Butts. Your story matters. Your life mattered. And your death will not be forgotten or sanitized or turned into just another statistic. Thank you for watching. If this made you angry, stay angry. Subscribe if you want to keep hearing these stories that mainstream media does not want to tell you about. Drop a comment with your thoughts. Share this video. Because the only way stories like Shantae's get heard is if you make sure they are heard. The algorithm will not push this. But you can. Thank you.